Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Reaper What Ifs. This is not my first What If ever. I had another channel, OP What Ifs, but I completely quit that channel because I kind of messed up on that one. Sorry, I have a cold. Ran outside in the rain was my worst mistake, but also, well, yeah, that's it. So this What If will be called What If Naruto was Hela's and Darkseid's son. So, yeah. Or is it Helen? I don't know. So, this all starts at Thor Ragnarok when Helen when Asgard just got destroyed by I forgot his name. Surin something. Start with an S, I know that for a fact. Asgard got destroyed. Everyone thought Hela died, but she didn't. I'm gonna say Fenrir too. I'm gonna say he survived. Her and Fenrir were flung to Apocalypse because they went through dimensions and all of that. It's a long story. Don't like to explain it. Would not like to explain it. They got flung through a portal to another dimension, which was the DC universe, and they landed on Apocalypse. So happens. Darkseid felt immense power. I said Omega Beam Boom Tube to it, and he got there. He saw Helen laying on the ground unconscious, and Fenrir. He lifts Fenrir with one hand, because he's Darkseid, and grabs Helen and drags them back through the portal to his palace. He has Helen on the ground and Fenrir beside her. He's sitting on his throne. They wake up and he asks them, who are they? Helen says she's the goddess of death, and Darkseid begins to laugh. She gets angry and tries to throw a sword at him. He just, like, you know that anime move where they one finger the tip of the sword and it just shatters? Yeah, that's basically what he does. And he says, that's funny, but you're weak. How are you the goddess of death if you're that weak? And she says, my source of power is gone, so I'm not as strong as I used to be. And she kind of sit down and explain to him what happened and everything. And Darkseid is kind of understanding and everything. So he asks her to join his ranks as a soldier, or as a general, because he's seen her skills. She accepts because she has nothing better to do. So over the years, Helen became a great general, and Darkseid and her also had feelings for each other a little bit. Then, what do you know, they get married. And after they get married, a few years down the line, they had a son. But they know it's a son. They didn't have him yet. Helen still had him in her stomach, basically. So they had a son. And everyone in the universe heard about this. And they all were happy and scared at the same time. A child from Darkseid could either be a calamity or it can be a good thing. So they all wanted to present gifts, and I always wanted to do this with a what if, like a DC what if. So I'm gonna do it in this one. So basically, a lot of entities showed up. So first there was the presence. He came and granted Naruto, well, he's still in Helen's stomach, he granted him divinity, and he also granted him to be able to summon the archangels. Am I saying it right? Yeah, archangels. The 7 archangels. The 7 archangels um to his beck and call if he ever need them. He has affinity. He can like put it in there. He also has angel wings, 6 of them. Also, yeah, that's it. And the President's Elite. Oh, and he gave him the ability to bend reality. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, he gave him that ability. Then there was the Zone Child. If you don't know who it is, look it up. Powerful entity. In my case, I don't think he's a hero or villain. I think he's neither, or she, or it is neither. I don't know why it's called a child, but hey. He says, it says, Darkseid, allow me to fuse with your child. Darkseid knows the Zone Child is powerful when it fuses with a host like it did Lex Luthor. But he told it, and so did Helen, if it tries anything, it'll rip them apart. It'll rip it straight off of Naruto and kill it. And Darkseid meant it because his eyes went all Omega Beam and everything. Zone Child saw he was serious, so he bonded with Naruto, and now they're bonded forever. But he doesn't have the features that, what's his name? Lex Luthor have. Then there was Zeus. Well, there's a few Olympic gods. Zeus, Ares, and I'm gonna say Hera was there too. Zeus, Ares, Hera. And, yeah. Zeus gave him, Zeus, Gaia, and Ares. Ares gave him the ability to control, like war control, basically. So it's a primitive ability. You have to know how to use it. Basically, anyone that is your ally, you could boost them. Like, if you know how like Sun Jin Woo had used one of his abilities to boost his shadows, and they turned from blue to purple. Well, not now, but like before, when they turned from blue to purple. Yeah, basically that's how it is. But it's permanent. Like permanent. So they're like boosted. Their strength, their agility, their speed, and their loyalty. They will never betray you or anything. So yeah. Also, that was it. Then, Hades was there too. There was a lot of versions of the devil there. I'm gonna put them all 3 together. Zeus. I already said Zeus. Gaia gave him the affinity for all elements. And yeah. And then there's when, what's his name? Hades, Lucifer Morningstar, not the Netflix version, the comic version, and Trigon. They all 3 of them came together. Lucifer gave Deku to be able to summon the 7 princes of hell. And then he left. So yeah. Trigon gave him the ability to use dark magic at its fullest. And Hades gave him, what did Hades give? He gave him, I want to say Fenrir, but, I want to say Cerberus, but no, because I have a plan for that. Well, I'm going to say, yeah, he did give him Cerberus, but Cerberus is like only one of the pets Naruto's going to have. I know I'm making him OP because that's kind of like, that's kind of how I like most of my characters, OP'd out. So then there's when it was Darkseid and Helen's turn. I don't know their name. Well, Darkseid already said he gave him lots of gifts. Now Deku is literally born with the Omega Effect, so he's more powerful than Darkseid. Well, once he trains with it, because Darkseid wasn't born with the Omega Effect, he gained it, but Naruto is literally born with it. And he's born with the anti-life equation now. He's not gonna be all like Darkseid, stuck in another realm with a head. Oh yeah, snap. Lucifer also gave Naruto dominion over purgatory. Now Naruto controls purgatory. It's a whole story. Lucifer gave it to Naruto. Yeah, so then he also gained super intelligence from Darkseid, I say antimatter. Well, yeah, antimatter, dark matter, what else? Oh snap. Matter manipulation. Not power bestowal. Let's see. Life creation. So basically, yeah. From Helen, he gained very primitive martial arts skills. So like, if you've seen Helen in Thor Ragnarok, she was a total badass because she took out an army. Think by herself. I think so. Yeah. Her healing factor, which is OP as fuck. I don't know how anyone could have that much of a healing factor because it's really not fair in a fight. And also, what else? Fenrir had 2 children, 2 boys. They're twins. She also gave them to Naruto. She also gave him necromancing. And yeah. Basically, yeah, that's it. So the way Naruto's gonna get inside the Naruto universe is Darkseid and Helen came to a decision that they wanted Naruto to conquer his own universe or world, whatever. They wanted him to conquer his own universe. So what Darkseid did is he teleported to the Naruto universe. He saw like the Nine Tails about to kill. Then he saw Kushina and them. They wanted to have a baby so bad, and he noticed that they had 2 already. So he thought he could just squeeze one more in, and he threw Naruto in there with them. So Naruto's the oldest. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry guys. I forgot where I left off. Okay, so yeah, he tried to like put him inside of Kushina's stomach as well. And he went back to Apocalypse. So now Kushina has 3 children. But Naruto's gonna have I think I have a picture of Naruto somewhere in here. Nope. Oh yeah, I forgot. Nope. Wow, okay, nope. Yes. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is Naruto. I have to delete some of these pictures, guys, so hold on. Okay, sorry guys. My parent called me and I had something else to do. Okay, so Darkseid said that he'll keep watch on him to make sure everything's okay, but he won't intervene in anything. So after that, a few weeks later actually, Kushina was about 9 months later, Kushina was about to have Naruto. Yeah, Naruto. I'm just gonna go with the original names, Minma and Mito. I don't have time to make up any names. I don't really care. Minma and Mito. So once she did that, once she had them, the whole original Toby or Obito. I don't really care. Madara, the Masked Man, whatever. He has so many names. I'm just gonna go with the Masked Man because I like it better. The Masked Man comes and he grabs Naruto and Hela, whatever. She got pissed. She really wanted to go there and just slice off his head because she could have done it easily, even with his what's the ability he has? Amaterasu, not Amaterasu. Dang, I forgot that ability. I was gonna say a phasing ability until I remember the name. His phasing ability, she could have just cut right through him without any problems. But Darkseid told her to just watch. So the masked man held the kunai to Naruto's throat, and Obito, who tried to save Naruto, the masked man smirked under the mask, obviously, and he dropped Naruto. Obito snapped. Minato caught him, and then the masked man grabbed Kushina. Kamui, yes. He Kamui'd her away into the, forgot what it was named. He released the Nine Tails, and Kushina was smart enough to, save some chakra behind it. So, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, sorry that'll be the last time if my parent doesn't call me again. Okay, so, what was that? Yeah, Obito extracted the Nine Tails. Kushina was smart enough to pin some of the Nine Tails chakra back somewhere inside of her body, enough to keep her alive. So, probably 1 or 2% of it. And, she gets up. The Nine Tails, 1 or 2% is recovering her body, which is enough to heal all of her injuries and from the pregnancy. So, he didn't know that Kushin did that, and the Nine Tails was out loose, and Snap, I just had the name. I'm just gonna say teleport until I remember the name. I'm bad with that name for some apparent reason. He Kamui'd it back to the, I think that's the name. He Kamui'd it to the Hidden Leaf Village. So, when he done this, he didn't know Kushina was behind him. Kushina punches him straight out of the building, and he was trying to come away. Kushina grabbed onto him. She Kamui'd away with him back to the Leaf Village. Minato picked up Naruto by the back of his shirt, saying it's all your fault that Kushina's gone. He's blaming Naruto. He's like, you have black hair, while the rest of my children have red and blonde hair. Are you even mine? And Darkseid was so pissed. He just wanted to go there and destroy this planet, but he said he wouldn't interfere unless it was dire, unless a god or something like that tried to target him. So, say for instance, someone I was about to say Madara. Madara is basically a god at this point. Someone the king of Otsutsuki tries to attack Naruto. That's when Darkseid would intervene. And if someone what's her name? Oh snap! She fought against Naruto and Sasuke. How could I forget her name? She's like one of the most villains of villains. What was her name? Oh my god, it's so hard. I haven't watched Naruto in a long time. I've been focusing on other anime. It was... Okay, I'm forgetting about it. The lady sealed in the moon. Yeah, I forgot her name. Don't judge. I just forgot it. So then, that's when, he was blaming Naruto and everything. Darkseid was angry, but he said he wasn't going to intervene, so he left it alone. So, Minato aborted, he, flying Rajin, all of the children back to the house, put them in their cribs, still giving Naruto a death glare. No, he didn't, he put them back to their house inside of the cribs, and then he went back, and he saw Kushina fighting with the masked man. He was so happy that she was alive, but he still blamed Naruto. So he went to go punch the masked man. Yeah, I think that's it. He went to go punch the masked man. Well, he flying Raijin. He threw a kunai at the masked man. He flying Raijin in front of him and tried and punched him. So him and Kushina was tag teaming him, and when the third Hokage got there, they were triple teaming him. But the Nine-Tailed intervened, smacking them away. And so they thought the only way that they'll win this if they sealed the Nine-Tailed inside of a vessel. So they thought they had to split the Nine-Tails. So what they did was Minato had an idea. He went to go grab all three of the children. He was about to use a Reaper Death Seal, but the third Hokage said he would do it. And he used the Reaper Death Seal. And he put 50% of the chakra in Minima, 50% in Mito, 50 of the soul, 50 of soul. He was trying to put 50% of the soul inside of Naruto. But the Zone Child, I think that was his name. Yeah, the Zone Child pushed the soul out because it was too weak. It was inferior. That's what he called it. He said it was an inferior being, and Naruto is a god. He's a full breed god. He's no human or nothing mixed together because he's born from Darkseid and Hela, and they're both gods. So he's he tells Minato and them he dies, and so he dies. Minato and them were sad because the third Hokage died. Everyone else were sad. Minato and them were about to head home with their two children. They left Naruto behind, and one ninja said, "Oh, you forgot one?" Minato smirked and said, "Haha, it's kind of hard keeping up with all three of them." And the ninja smiled and said, "Yeah." He said, "Take care, Lord Fourth. We'll clean up this mess." And then in there, Minato and Kushina head, they were like, "You should have left the little bastard there to die." Because Minato told Kushina that it was all Naruto's fault. Kushina agreed. So we're going to skip a few years later. We see a little boy running. Probably he's about like 4 years old. We see a little boy running from some ninja, 2 Jonin, 1 Chunin. He's running from them. He jumped from building to building because he was naturally physically strong and everything. So he jumped from building to building. He got away. He went to his home. He got inside and he said, "Hey, mother and father." They said, "What did we tell you about calling us that?" And Kushina stabbed him with her chakra chains. And it pierced his arm. He was bleeding out. And she sent him to his room. She said, "Since you called me mother and you called me until father, you're going to be on punishment." So Naruto goes to his room. That's when Minato and the rest of them went outside to go train. Naruto's watching. Minato is teaching Menma and Mito taijutsu, and they're kind of trash at it in Naruto's eyes because again he has Hela's fighting capabilities, and we all seen Hela in action. So he's like, he was just pointing out what they were doing wrong and how their bodies were too weak. And then that's when he saw a man with a white hair with a toad. I mean, not a toad. A man with a white hair appeared on top of a toad. And Minato and Kushina were happy. And they gave him a hug. And they started talking. And they came in the house. Naruto walked to the steps silently. No one could hear him. He didn't even know that they couldn't hear him. He didn't know he was being that silent. He was trying, but he didn't know he was that good at it. So, so that's when he heard them talking, and Jiraiya says, and this is the Jiraiya, obviously. Jiraiya says, "Minato and Kushina." And Tsunade was there too. He says, "Minato and Kushina, have some great news for you. 2 children are the children of prophecy." He said, "1 child is born from the gods, and he said one of your children is a child of prophecy. One is born from the gods, and they all thought like basically they were talking about Minma or Mito because basically people worshipped Minato and Kushina like a god and a goddess. So that's who they thought they were talking about. And they were so happy for Minma and Mito, and they were like, which one is it? He said that they said one of the children will have immense power, one of a demon. And they thought, oh, no, not one of the demon. They said they'll have immense power. And they're thinking like, well, Minma was always way stronger than Mito, so it's probably him. And then that's when they said, yeah, it's probably Minma. Mito was so happy for Minma, but she felt left out. So they said they'll still train her so she can help her brother become the child of prophecy, and they can both be strong together. And then that's when Minato asks about Naruto. He said, just kick him out. We don't need him. And that's when Darkseid was furious. Apocalypse started shaking. And Steppenwolf came and said, my lord, you're about to break the planet or destroy the planet. Darkseid calmed down, and him and Hela sat at their throne watching. And they said, we need to awaken his abilities sooner than we wanted. He have to take over this planet. It's filthy humans on it think they're better. So when Naruto walked out, they kicked him out, and everyone in the village heard about this. And Naruto just saw pitchforks and fire and everything when he was on the street. He saw them, and he looked back, and he saw lots of villagers, and he started running. And he jumped off from a building, and he accidentally slipped, hitting the ground hard. The villagers found him, and they looked, and they said, you filthy demon, we're gonna kill you. And one of them impales him with a pitchfork. The other stabs him with a sword. And they're just stabbing him with multiple things. And that's when Naruto sees Minma, Mito, Kushina, Minato, Jiraiya, and Tsunade all just standing there. And he looks at them with hatred in his eyes. And he said, in a deep and demonic voice, he said, I'll burn you all to the ground. I will have my revenge. And he, dies right there. And so in his dreams, Hela and Darkseid come, and they say, my son, you will have your revenge. And he said, you're the heir to Apocalypse, and you will take over this universe. And they unlock all of his abilities. Naruto sees his own child beside him, and he acts as he was. His own child explains. Hela and Darkseid explains as well who they are. They're his real parents and everything. And they tell him he will have to train very hard. Okay, guys, so this video is gonna be probably 50 minutes long. I don't know, probably an hour. I don't know. I'm probably thinking about doing every video I have an hour long or at least 50 minutes long. It's gonna be out of those two. None more, nothing less. So yeah, that's where I'm going way into detail. So that's when they said you'll have to start training to use all of your abilities. And that's when Naruto has super intelligence, so he understands what they're saying. And his personality completely changes. So I said Naruto had black hair. No, he has black and white hair. This is how his hair looks. This is Naruto. And Darkseid says, he says, my son will train you here, but first you have to leave here. So Naruto leaves. He gets up with all the swords impaling him. He rips them out like a total badass, not caring. Hela's healing factor kicks in. He heals, and he leaves the village. And he looks back and he said, when I come back, I'll have my revenge. I'll burn you all to the ground. and I'll see how you like it. And he said, I'll conquer this universe. So he goes into the forest of death, and he's there. And first, Darkseid tells him he's gonna have to work on his physical abilities. Even though he's physically strong, he's not as strong as him or his mother. So he'll have to train under his mother and him, or under his mother for hand-to-hand combat training. And I just said taijutsu. They said Darkseid says, "What the hell is that?" And then he said, "Oh, yeah, that's what they call it in that world." He says, "Just call it, just call it hand-to-hand combat or martial arts or something, whatever type of bullshit they call it over there. It's just stupid. Then why would they change the name?" He going off, and Hela tells him to stay focused. So she teaches Naruto how to do the basics of her abilities, summon weapons. So Naruto knows how to summon swords and stuff now, but he doesn't know how to completely fight with them. So they conjure up like dolls for him to fight in his mind, and he has to fight armies on top of armies. He has to fight every day an army of 100. Hella fought more than that, but he has to fight an army of 100, and if he gets hurt or anything, he have to restart. So he did this training for about a year, and he doing this perfect, and he's killing the armies, and he took out all of them, and every time he completely defeats an army, they amp it up. So now they amped it up to about, Naruto can defeat about 10,000 or maybe 100,000. It depends. Well, it doesn't depend on nothing. It's just how much he can defeat. He's an expert at hand-to-hand combat with swords, knives, well, I guess kunai, all of that. And he also learned his matter manipulation. No. Then Hela introduces him to fending her two children. I'm gonna call them Bane and Cyrax. So yeah, I don't know what those two names are. So Bane and Cyrax is their names. She introduces them. Naruto names them Bane and Cyrax. They say they like their names, and she said they grow rapidly, so he has to watch out. The more he feeds them, the more they grow. Then, oh yeah, now, also, I forgot to say, one more power Lucifer gave Naruto, besides purgatory, is when he swallows someone's soul. He can swallow someone's soul, and whatever ability or anything they had, he will also have it. So, Naruto says who was that red guy or red thing he met, and they say, and his own child appeared and introduces himself, or itself, and it says that it's Naruto's friend. They're bonded, and he said he kept that stinking fox, that weak fox out, and he said, "You're talking about the nine-tailed fox?" He was like, "Yeah, that weak thing tried to come in here, so I kicked it out." And Naruto's thinking that's pretty awesome. He kicked the nine-tailed fox out. And he said basically, I'm like a suit of armor basically. You can wear me. I increase all of your superhuman abilities. What else you have? Reality manipulation, or reality warping, and you could shoot energy projectiles and energy manipulation. I was thinking that's kind of cool. Then Darkseid and them tell Naruto all the abilities and the gifts he's gained. Hela told him he has necromancing from her, so he has an army of his own, and he sees some undead soldiers appear, and there's about Hela gave him, I'm gonna say her abilities is so complex now because Darkseid helped her upgrade, so now she can make soldiers instead of bringing them back to life. Well, she can also do that. She makes him about 2 million. So he has a whole army of 2 million soldiers at his beck and call. So like imagine Sanjin Woo's soldiers, like his Death Knights or whatever they're called. Them, but with the Omega symbol on their chest, because it represents Darkseid, and Naruto likes the symbol. The Omega symbol on their chest, and like boost, and they're all red. Well, black and red, basically. That's what they are. The Omega symbol and their eyes are red, but the rest of their body is black. Basically like Darkseid. But they're not as tall as him or buff as him. They're basically like an army, basically. And they're loyal. They only listen to Naruto. They don't even listen to Hela or Darkseid. So yeah, Bane and Cyrax fall in line as well. And they tell him that Ares gave him an ability called, I'm gonna call it War Cry. So all Naruto shouts a command. Oh no, I'm just calling it authority. Yeah, it gives him the authority to tell anyone what to do. He says say something. He said, I unlocked that ability. I unlocked all of your abilities. So try demanding something. Say, I demand you. And Naruto says, I demand you to kneel. And they all kneel down to him. And they're all kneeling. Bane and Cyrax as well. And Naruto smiles, and he's thinking that this is pretty cool. And he says, you can also amp them by boosting their rage. They can be basically like berserkers. Naruto says, okay, and he tries it, and he amps them. So they're like berserkers. If you don't know what a berserker is, that was a powerful warrior. And berserkers went on a whole different level. So now that all of them are berserkers, it's just pretty OP at this point. And then they says, well, since we have that out the way, you also can control purgatory. Darkseid explains what purgatory is. Naruto gets the hang of it. He goes to purgatory, and he's in there, and he's like, whoa, this place is kind of cool. And they're like, yeah, you can basically trap anyone in here, and they can have eternal damnation. And he's like, well, that's also cool, so I have my own prison. And they're like, well, yeah. Then that's when they say, you also have Divinity. Divinity. And he's like, okay. And they're like, Hela says conjure a weapon. He conjures a sword, and he puts Divinity in it, and he slices with the sword. Well, he's outside of his mindscape now. He's in the real world. He slices a mountain, not a mountain and a half. He slices a cliff in half. I'm not gonna make him too OP yet. I want him to grow gradually. He Divinity, and like whatever Hell's type Divinity, so satanic Divinity, I don't know, something like that. And he infuses it as well, and they mix, and they create a new type of Divinity. I don't know what to call it. You guys come up with it. So Heaven Divinity and Hell Divinity mixed together, and it makes, you guys come up with the name. I don't care what the name is. And then that's when he slices with it, and it, instead of cutting the whole cliff, every tree in a 150-mile radius were chopped off, and he destroyed the platform he was on. He thought he was going to fall to his death, but he started flying. Now he knows he can fly. So then, that's when he learned about his reality manipulation ability. He can't do anything big like change time, anything like that. Yeah, no. But he also knows he can summon the 7 archangels, and he can summon the 7, what was their name? The 7? No, not the 7, snap. The 7, 7 sins, I don't know what they were. The 7 princes of hell, yeah, he can summon them. And so that's when he tries it. He summons Michael and he summons Gluttony. Michael and Gluttony are staring each other down. They're about to fight, and Naruto stares at them and tells them to stop. And they stop because they have to completely listen to him. And he's got his father's ego, so he says kneel. They kneel, and they ask him what is his command. He says nothing for right now. Return to your homes. Gluttony the prince. Gluttony, he returns, and Michael returns. Naruto says that's pretty cool, but I have to put them in line once or twice. But hey, it's okay. And then Darkseid says, well, I have to teach you about the Omega effect. So he says you can do a lot of neat things with the Omega effect. You can create energy shields. You can create a lot of things. And he learns about the Omega effect. He learns about the Omega beams. And he also learns about the anti-life equation. Now this is kind of complicated, so I'm going to explain it as slow as I can. Okay, so basically, Darkseid gained the anti-life equation, so, yeah. But Deku was born with the anti-life equation, so now the anti-life equation is now part of Naruto, so he has more power than, what's the name? So if Naruto wanted to go all out, he'd probably destroy reality itself, and lots of things. So, yeah. And that's when he says, okay, Darkseid teaches him how to use that. He can put people in he combined what was it, the anti something? He combined the anti whatever and purgatory together. Now that's a person's, he can make it a person's infinite hell. So like it's basically like the anti whatever where every time you die you come back alive and your death is even more brutal. Basically that's what it is. And so, but it's like a loved one or someone you close to killing you over and over and over and over. And so then he learns how to use his lightning. He learns his telekinesis, telepath, teleportation, genius level intellect. He learns all of this. He also has shape-shifting. Then he learns how to use the elements like Gaia taught him. But these are not his full... He's not using them at their full capability. He's using them at their mid capability. And their full capability is very powerful. He's gonna grow gradually. And so that's when he sorry guys about that. That's so annoying. Hold on. Okay, they don't listen to me, obviously. I guess, oh well. And so he's been training for all this time, and now he's about, like, say 14, 15. Say he's about 12, and this is how he already looks. So he goes back to the Leaf Village wearing this, and he comes in, and they recognize his hair, and everyone is looking, and they're like, you're Naruto, and Naruto's like, yes, I am. And they're all kind of afraid because they didn't know that Naruto would be there. They thought he was dead. And Minato and Kushina hear about this, so does Mino and Mito. They're all like angry because they're like, this demon brat won't die. But now Naruto's attitude is all chill, quiet, and deadly, so he won't give you any remorse. He's basically like Hela and Darkseid combined, which he is. He's basically like a total badass that will kill you without thinking about it and go to sleep at nighttime without any problems. So he goes, and then he goes to the academy because it's the first day of the academy. He walks in, all the girls are looking at him, and he's gotten even more handsome than what he was at first. They're all looking at him. And Zone Child and Naruto have become close friends. So they're talking in his mind, and he's like, look at all of them staring at you. It's funny. And Naruto tells him to shut up. And they start fighting because basically they're like brothers now. Naruto treats him like his older brother because Naruto's been around for millions, maybe even thousands of years. Oh, Naruto's also immortal. So that's when Darkseid. Naruto and Naruto is talking in his mind, and he sees Minra, Mito, Sasuke, Sakura, and Hinata walk in the classroom, and they all look at Naruto. And Minra, Mito, and them go back there to Naruto's desk, and they slam their heads on his desk. And Minra's like, "Why didn't you die, you demon? You should have just died. Oh, we would have been better off without you." And Naruto stands up. He grabs Minmo by the mouth and he says, "Shh, I'm trying to think. I don't need your little, I don't need your bullshit right now." And he throws Minmo straight out of the wall. And his eyes start glowing, so his Omega effect is showing. He's not scared to show his powers. He's not like, it's not one of those what ifs where he's not going to show his full power. No, he doesn't really care. He looks at him and he was like, "I'll destroy everyone in this class without any problems. You all are inferior to me, so you watch yourself the next time you talk to me." And he sits back down. And Hinata's angry. She's gotten full of herself because Naruto was not the one that saved her. No, Naruto did save her, but she punched him in the face. No, she shut off all of his chakra points. But Naruto he literally, to show how badass he is, he literally calls chakra useless, and he says, whoever the one that gave chakra to mortals was stupid, and then he found out her name was Kaguya. Oh snap! I got the name. He said that lady was an idiot. Hela starts laughing. So does Darkseid. Well, Darkseid doesn't. He didn't really laugh. He was just staring. But Hela kind of laughed, and so Iruka came in saying a big hole in the wall, and he asks what happened, and everyone points at Naruto. He sees Minma. He goes to Rush, gives Minma what's the name, whatever, and he tells Naruto what did he do. Naruto says he started it, and I just finished it. And he said, and then that's when Iruka said, "Don't do it again, or you'll be expelled on your first day." So a few years passed, and because I'm gonna just skip through this. A few years passed, and it hit the last day of the academy. So after that, men with Mito didn't mess with Naruto, but they went to go tell their parents, and their parents was like, it was probably a cheap shot. Now he's thinking it's a cheap shot. And so he's been training after that with Jiraiya, and now they have a summoning. I don't know what I should make Naruto summon. He doesn't really need a summoning. He already has Bane and Cyrax and a 2 million army. It don't need a summoning, but I'll give him one. I don't know what it'd be. Oh, he has Cerberus as well. Yeah, Cerberus. Never mind. He has Bane, Cyrax, and Cerberus. Cerberus is like the big brother of the Bane and Cyrax. So yeah, they're like a brother trio, and Naruto's like the older brother of all of them. So yeah. So and Bane and Cyrax are the same size as Fenrir now. So cause they're older now. Because she did say they were gonna grow rapidly. So that's when Naruto is sitting at his desk, and Iruka comes in and says, "This is the last day of the academy. This is gonna see who's the rookie of the year." Naruto, not caring, talking to Zone Child in his mind, telling him how boring this class is and everything. And his mother and his father contacts him, and Darkseid says, "Naruto," and he says, "Yes, father." He says, "If you get number 1 in this, I'll give you a present." Naruto really wants a present from his father because his father has a lot of cool things on Apocalypse. So Naruto says, deal. And so, Naruto, Naruto is going, he's gonna go all, well, not all out. He's gonna use, like, probably 15, probably, like, 10, 1, 2, 3% of his power in this, like, because he uses Darkseid and Hela's son, so it's kind of obvious not to use a whole bunch of power. Oh, and he's not like Hela. He doesn't have to draw from Asgard. Hela, oh, and Darkseid changed that. So she draw from Apocalypse. The more she's on Apocalypse, the more stronger she get. So he doesn't draw from anything but the universe itself. So the long as there's a universe, there's going to be a Naruto. So he's drawing from the literal universe, and I don't think anyone can stop him at this point. But I'm going to keep going because it's fun. So then, oh, it's like, I'm going to stop in a few. I'm going to stop at the end of the academy test. And so they do the transformations into Menma did 5 clones. Everyone did pretty good. Everyone did the same amount that they did in the original. But when Naruto went up, he says, create me simple clones. Naruto looks and he says, fine. And he knows all of these chakra things, but he doesn't even really use them because he already has full control of the elements. So he makes a real clone of himself. It looks like him, it feels like, and everything. It doesn't poof away anything. It has real blood and everything. And he said he makes 7 of them. Well, he makes 10 of them. And Naruto gets up to touch it and see if it's gonna poof away. He throws a kunai. He throws a kunai at one, and see how stable they are, and it bleeds. And he's like, "Wait, what?" And everyone's kind of surprised because they never heard of a clone bleeding. And it rips the kunai out and throws it down, and it says, "That hurts." And he's like, "It have its own free will." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, it's a clone. That's what you asked for, right?" And he was like, yes. And Naruto says, so we're done here? And he says, yes. Naruto makes an energy blade around his hand and slices off all the clones' heads, snaps his finger, and they turn to ash. Not like Thanos snap, like the remains turn to ash, basically. And he goes, home. I mean, not home. He goes, sit back at his desk, put his feet on the desk, and talking to back to Zone Child. We're just gonna call him the Zone Child. Zeref, Zayas, Zekino, Zex. Let's say Zone. Yeah, his name is Zoe. Zoe. Yeah, I'm just gonna say his name is Zoe. So Zoe is talking, and him and Zoe are talking, and that's when he says next is at the kunai and shuriken test. Naruto goes outside and they see he doesn't have a pouch for his kunai or his shuriken. And they're like, how are you going to throw him? Naruto summons a knife, basically, like a metal knife like his mother has, and he throws them and he hits the middle of the targets. Then he makes some shape like shuriken, throws them, hits the targets. And they think that's just like the tattoo that the what was it? The Uchihas used to store weapons. And then that's when Naruto walks back. He got 100 on that. He aced that 10 out of 10. Sasuke got a 10 out of 9. Menma 10 out of no. Sasuke 10 out of 7. Menma 10 out of 9. Mito 10 out of 9. Sakura 10 out of. She got better chakra control than Sasuke. So she got a 10 out of 7. I don't really hate Sakura. I don't really hate her. She was kind of cool. And I don't know why people hate her because she's the one, I'm pretty sure she's the one that taught Hinata healing. She's the one that said that she wouldn't let Naruto die on her watch. She was basically the one that did a lot. She's pretty freaking strong. She can burst a hole in the ground, and not many people can do that except for Tsunade. And basically, if you're calling Sakura useless, you're calling Tsunade useless because she's the one that trained her. And Sakura is pretty strong, fast, and agile. Has perfect chakra control, better than Naruto and Sasuke had. She did it on her second or first try, the tree climbing. So I really don't see why people hate her that much. I guess it's just some people preference to hate her. I don't know. But so yeah, skip all of that. But she is a total bitch though. I'm just not gonna lie about that. Then there's the Taijutsu battle. So it's Minmo versus whoever, blah blah blah, and Minato, Kushina, Jiraiya, and Tsunade all there watching. And so it's now it's up as Sasuke and Naruto. Naruto's not even looking, and Uruka did it on purpose and said start because he thought Naruto wasn't ready. And so Sasuke was running towards Naruto. Naruto still wasn't looking. So Sasuke tried to kick. Naruto stopped it with his hand and threw Sasuke back. Sasuke shot a fireball at him. Naruto stopped the fireball and sent it back because, again, he can control all elements. From Gaia. Gaia graced him with that. And, yeah. And then that's when Naruto, he pushed off, he disappeared, punched Sasuke into the ground, and he grabbed Sasuke before he went out of the ring, because, again, he is brutal. He's basically a mini Darkseid. He stumps Sasuke's stomach, makes him bleed, and the Uchiha Massacre didn't happen, so Itachi and all of them are watching this. Itachi is not going to be a part of the Akatsuki. Yeah, he's not. And then that's when, what's his name? And that's when, everyone is looking at this. And Minma intervenes, tries to stop Naruto. Naruto grabs him by the throat, kicks him in the stomach, and puts him down. Sakura, Hinata, and Mito tried to intervene. They all tried to gang up on him, and no one said nothing. So they weren't going to let this happen. But again, Naruto fought hundreds of armies of his mother made, and even up to 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000. So he's fighting them without any problem. He's not even using his weapons yet. And he's just using his bare hands, and he punches Sakura straight into the ground, dislocating her arm. He grabs Hinata by the throat. Sasuke? No, he grabs Hinata, by the throat. Minma tried to shoot a fireball, and Sasuke tried to shoot a fireball at the same time. Naruto threw Hinata straight at the fireball. It hit her. So she has a lot of burns. Then Minman and Sasuke and Mito tried to gang up on Naruto. Naruto 3-1 beat them. He punched Minma, almost stopping his heart. Beating up Sasuke so easily. And what was his name? What was her name? Mito. He just kicked her little short self straight out of the ring, straight into a wall, left a big crater. And I'm gonna say there is called chakra pressure in here. Minato was letting off a lot of chakra pressure because he was angry. Everyone can feel it. But Naruto just standing there, and he's trying to weigh Naruto down, basically. Naruto steps out of the little crater that Minato made. And he looks at him and says, my father's more stronger than you. And he's like, wait, what does he mean? And then he disappears. And that's the end of that, guys. That's why I'm going to leave this video off. Please like and subscribe. And put in the comments, what do you want Naruto's new divinity to be named. It's a mix of heaven divinity and hell divinity, basically. So yeah, please give me a name in the comments, and see you guys later. Bye.